Hello everyone, welcome to my live stream. It's Friday, which means it's Chibi Friday, and we're doing coloring today because we got all the lines done for this Chibi birthday Furret for my friend. I sent him a gift certificate for his birthday to get a free Chibi. So he asked for a Furret, which is his favorite Pokemon, with a party hat and a balloon, and it was me who picked all these heart things because I thought it would be super cute. So there's like even a heart on the end of the balloon. Hold on a second, my water bottle is making a gurgling noise. That's weird, like it was getting pressurized or something. This is all I have to drink today, just some nice mineral water. Take a drink since I have it in my hand. It's so hot today. Just step outside. It's like stepping into an oven. It's just so hot. Like, let's see. What does it say on my app? On my weather app. For the 38 degrees Celsius. It's so hot. It's like mid to high 90s, I think, in Fahrenheit. It's so hot. So hot. Oh, Satoita, hello! How are you? I guess you made it home safely. Did you make it through the crazy heat? The crazy oven? Riding your bike in an oven. What an interesting life experience, right? Okay, let's get started on some of this coloring. I feel like if I stay really on task today, I could actually finish this in just 2 sessions, and that would be great because I have ideas for other Chibis in mind that I can't wait to get started on too. Yeah, that's nice. Satoita says, lol, yeah, it's dry heat. I'm very grateful I live on the river. That is the one nice thing about living in the desert. Because we've always, or at least I have always lived in a desert environment for some reason in California and Texas and here and then it like is the same desert in Arizona as well, and it's just like so hot, but at least it's always dry. It's always been the dry kind so that your sweat can actually work. So I'm looking for, I was looking in the yellows first, but I'm gonna go, because the lightest color on Furret is this tan color. But yeah, I'll just go with an actual like tan type color. I don't know. These ones might be a little too on the red side. Oh yeah, these are much more like what I want. So I'm just doing a normal color. I'm not doing the shiny one or any special colors. It's just a regular Furret. I've got my reference image open over here on I have a monitor right here. This one seems really good, but it also seems a bit light. But maybe I'll just start with it as the base color, and then I can always, add more. So that's E41. E41. Man, not only is it hot outside, I made delicious ramen for my afternoon meal, and I burned my tongue on it. I was so hungry, and it smelled so good. Okay, let me adjust my monitor a little bit. It was angled a little too far away. I want to angle it more like this. Okay, so the tip of the tail, well, the tip of the tail is small enough. I'll use the small end of the marker. I'll start there and move this way. So tip of the tail is this color. Tan color. And even though this has had a full week to dry, I don't think it's always an issue of whether it's dry or not. There's sometimes, even though these pens I use are generally very marker safe or whatever, marker proof, sometimes with the really thick application of ink, it still will bleed. So I'm trying to be careful around these really thick outside lines. Okay, and then it goes 1, 2, 3. Okay. Yeah, I didn't think about that. It's a good thing because I reduced the number of stripes on the body because I made it a really short and fat Furret to to make it cuter. Like, how do you make Furret into a chibi? It's already practically a chibi. Anyway, I'm glad I ended up with the right amount of stripes still for it to be, for the colors to be correct. I didn't think about that. If I had had one more stripe, I think that the tail would have had, the tip of the tail would have had to be the wrong color. Lucky! It's lucky when stuff just works out. That's the best. That's my favorite flavor. Well, when you gotta put some chocolate in it. And then that's my favorite flavor. So that's the reason it says making some banana ice cream. Just frozen bananas and peanut butter. That's my favorite afternoon snack. Just a banana and like half a serving of peanut butter spread on it and just eat it like I eat it with a fork. Like cut it and then stab it. So good. And then the little feet are also the tan color. So I'm at the first foot, so I'm coloring that one in. Yes! So that's what it says, then I'll fold in chocolate chips. Yes! Best ever. Peanut butter, chocolate, banana is the best flavor combo for ice cream. Well, it's my favorite anyway. Best is a subjective judgment. Okay, I gotta move my little swatch book out of the way because I need to turn it this way so that I can move the marker the way I want with using my hand in the most natural way still. So move the paper instead of trying to contort my hand into a weird, not even a weird shape, but like holding it in a weird way. Okay, so this little part is cut off by lines from the rest, so I'll tackle this first. These bigger areas always give me this tiny little bit of hesitancy because I like to get as smooth a marker application as possible, but with these really big areas you gotta work really fast, which means it's possible to put some marker where you don't want it, you know, go over the lines or stuff like that, or you know, like hit one of those patches of a lot of ink and end up getting a line that gets smudged and stuff. So it's always a little, it's like you know, you gotta take a deep breath before you jump into the cold swimming pool kind of feeling. Like, okay, we're gonna do this, it's gonna be fun, but let's just, okay, and then do it. So maybe that's unique to me, but I've never ever mentioned that before, or don't think, but that happens to me every time I'm coloring with markers and there's a really big patch. Like, okay, I just gotta prepare myself, like, okay, how am I gonna tackle this? What kind of angle am I going to work it from? Where are some places where I need to be a little bit extra careful or whatever? So that kind of planning is always going on in my head when I'm coloring with markers. I mean, it happens a little bit all the time anyway, but with those big patches, it's like, okay, there's 50 things to consider here before I actually put marker to paper. So we're almost done with this section. It's nice. That's another reason why it's nice to start with the lighter colors, because even if you do mess up a little bit and put some color where you didn't want it, it's a light color, so it might end up getting covered up by a darker color later anyway. Oh, interesting. I love chickpeas. They're my favorite things these days. Satoiza says, I tried a chickpea cookie dough. It's just meant for eating straight, not baking. But chickpeas, peanut butter, vanilla, maple syrup, and salt, and chocolate chips was very interesting. Man, I'd try that. I love chickpeas. They got the high protein, and they're so yummy. They're just delicious. It's so weird because I still don't like hummus. I was like, oh, maybe I like hummus now. because I like chickpeas so much. Like, no, whatever else they put in the hummus ruins it for me. I still don't like hummus. Okay, so I'm going to set this marker over here for now. I might come back to it later, especially with smoothing out any areas once I've added on more shading. But I'm just doing the flat colors to start with. So the next one is the darker, the brown color. I wonder if I'll stay in the same color group. It actually does have a slightly more red tint, but this one looks really good, actually. I'm looking back and forth between this color and my reference image over here. So I think I'll just go ahead with this one, E25. Yeah, and I'm wondering about the, must be the tahini that I don't like. Although I like tahini in other applications. So, Satsuiza says hummus is chickpeas and tahini. Yeah. Similar to the cookie dough, except instead of peanut butter, it's sesame seed butter. Yeah, something about that. But I liked tahini. The first time I ever made anything with tahini, it was a gravy recipe from one of my vegan cookbooks, and the gravy was so good. I've like never had such a, it was like too strong actually. Like it was so rich and flavorful, and it just like overpowered everything. I'm like, okay, next time I'll just put a tiny bit of it on whatever I'm putting it on. But it was like so good, but for some reason I don't like it with the chickpeas. The tahini just depends on the application, I guess. I think they also put like lemon in it too, and maybe that combines with the ingredients in a different kind of way. I don't know. Yeah, I thought, oh, well, maybe just because I wasn't used to chickpeas or something, and I tried it again. Oh no, that wasn't it. Because chickpeas are also the base for falafel, and I love falafel too. And there's this recipe in this Star Wars cookbook that I have that I make all the time. Well, I used to make it all the time, but I don't cook as much on a daily basis anymore. So, anyway, it's chickpeas with stuff in it, and you grind it up and then you fry it like little pancakes, and so yummy. Chickpea cookie dough. I would definitely try it. Okay, just working my way down, doing these other, it's basically the opposite areas that haven't been colored in are brown, except for like the eyes and the mouth. We're getting to the part where this clipboard actually sucks, which is when I have to turn it this way, and then I have to have my hand all up weird on the clip. But otherwise, I love having the clipboard because it's much easier to move this drawing around. Okay, let's see. I think after this little section, I'll switch to the big end of the marker. Oops, I colored my finger a little bit. I was trying to put the cap on, but it went outside the cap. Oh yeah, this is looking good. These two colors together are looking right. They look right. trying really hard to preserve this thin string holding the balloon. It's such a thin area, it's so easy to color too far, but so far so good. Hope my friend uses this as his avatar or something. I feel like it would make a really good avatar online. At least on my Studio Mikarts Discord. Maybe he'll use it there. Or my subscribers and stuff can contact me directly and then post all my updates and stuff. Okay, these little marks on the cheeks. Okay, yeah, good. So the fur is done. The fur on the furret. Next color, I guess, would be the pink for the inside of the mouth. I kind of thinking I want to do the balloon pink, but I guess I should color the furret first, and then I'll pick some colors that look nice with the rest of it. But I'll probably still do pink or red, or maybe yellow might be nice too for the balloon. That's a good pink mouth color. In the reference image, it's actually tending more toward purple, especially the inside shadowy part is definitely a purple. So I might do a red violet. Just comparing what I have here to what I see in the reference image. I guess maybe we'll do this RV32 to start. Yeah, it won't take very long. Mouth is teeny tiny. Yeah, it might be nice to make the balloon pink. Even if it's not the same pink, it could be a different kind of pink, but I feel like that would be nice. But still, let's do the rest first. It looks like the ears, the eyes are kind of a green, like a dark, maybe like a sea green kind of color. So let's go to blue green. And there's this ocean green, but it's, I don't think it's quite. Yeah, like this looks like the color I'm seeing, because actually in the reference image the eye is mostly black and there's just this little hint of color. But I'd like to start a little lighter and then go down to this. Or maybe even this one. I like this. Oh, but no, this one is more like it. So let's... Okay, hold on. I'm going to cover everything up. Make sure. Yeah, I like how these two work together. So we'll start with the BG15. Blue-green 15. Oh, it rhymes. Blue-green 15. I said it last time, but I still am imagining this Furret is looking at the birthday cake. Maybe the birthday cake is coming out on its birthday, and it's, oh yeah! That's what its expression says to me. It's like so excited to see its cake. I'm working up and then down, try to keep the color moving from both directions so that not one end gets really dry while I'm finishing the other side. And that seemed to work pretty well. I don't have any really big, no huge, what am I trying to say, lines where dry met wet marker. Ooh, now I'm starting to think that yellow actually would be nice. If I did a yellow balloon and then I did these two colors plus the yellow, if I picked a nice yellow on the hat. And then the pom-pom would be yellow. So that's the point we're at now, choosing the colors for the accessories. So I like the idea of yellow. I'm gonna do yellow. So I want one that isn't overpowering, but also looks like a bright, happy, energetic balloon colors. Maybe this yellow 15 might be nice. So if I go earlier on the list, it's kind of a weak, it's kind of weaky. This one's also nice. I'm kind of holding this up to, this is too neon. But this one is, so it's just a choice, I think, between my eyes. I know you can't see them, but my eyes are just going back and forth between these two colors. And now I'm looking down at the page and then up at the color quickly. Just see what, yeah, I feel like this is too powerful for these colors. So I'm gonna go for the yellow 15. Yellow 15, why 15? Okay. Well, I guess the little end, the tied end, I'm not even swiping it across the page, I'm just tapping it because it's such a small area and there's so much ink around it. I do not want it to drag any ink out. Okay, now I'll go to the big end for the balloon part. I mean, it's all the balloon part, but the big part of the balloon. That looks nice. Okay. Let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay. We'll do a yellow stripe on the hat. And yellow pom-pom. Tapping it around the edges here. And then do blue. And blue up here. There, and then the hat is combining all the colors together. Yay, I'm glad you think so. It's always how it is, and adding the color, it's like, ooh, things are happening. Satsuito says it's coming to life. Yep, and we're gonna add the shadows and then add the little bonus, that little bonus purple color in the shadows, and add little highlights on stuff. It's gonna look so, ah, yes. Look at these colors together. Look at the birthday hat. Oh good, focused on its own. Oh, I think they look so good. And it's bringing the mouth, eyes, and the balloon color together in the hat. Looks like a unicorn hat, which is appropriate because it's that pointy on the head. I'll just leave the string on the balloon white, so I'll just add shadows to it. So that means it's time to move on to shading. So the white string will actually be what we work on first because it's the brightest color, because I didn't actually color anything on it. So for something like that, I think I'll just go with a neutral gray. Maybe a slightly warmer. We'll go to toner gray for the slightly warmer color because the yellow is so warm, so that they go together nicely. And we don't need it to be too dark. Let's just do a T2, toner gray 2. Man, you can tell, well, you can't tell because you can't see, but I can tell the puppies are hot. It's hot because in the past, up until now, they'd always just be kind of curled up in their beds while I'm streaming. But like Aoife's like all spread out on the floor, and I'm having to step over her head every time I go to get a marker. And then Chappie is just on the hard floor behind me, also just sprawled out, laying down. So it goes to show how hot it is. Chappie doesn't even care about being in the soft bed. She'd rather be on the cold floor. And then Aoife's making the most of it by, she's like 80% on a bed, and then the other 20% is on the cold floor. They're just like taking up so much room because it's so hot they don't want to be curled up. Okay, so shading color for this tan. So what we started with was the E41. This is the next step. I don't know about how, it's literally called dull ivory, and it is a very dull color, but so maybe I'll move up instead of to the side and go for the E31. Yeah, let's do that. Okay, so I'm imagining the light coming from kind of this direction. So I think that would mean that this is definitely in shadow. I think the shadow would basically be hitting like this, and then this is the underside of the body, so there would be shadow, like the line of the shadow is maybe like this. And then, so this foot will be completely in shadow. I'm looking at the reference image, and yeah, so this one, in the reference image, the toes are sticking out a little bit. You can tell because there's a little bit that's not in shadow. So I'll try to do the same thing there. Leave the toes unshaded, but still have the rest of the foot shaded because the body is so big that it's like hanging over the feet. So it's hanging over the feet and casting a shadow. Okay, so if I use what I thought the shadow should be, then it's right about here. This is another time when I take that big mental breath, because it's like once you put the shadow color down, you can't go back from that. You can make it more shadowy, but you can't bring the light back in. I mean, you can do a little colored pencil work, but that's more for like smoothing things. The colored pencil does not completely cover it up, so. And it's just a deep breath, but it's not like a fear or anything, because the only way you can figure out how to make it look the way you want it to look is to actually try it. And if it doesn't work out and it doesn't look how you thought it would, you just draw another thing. Ooh, my laundry's done. It's actually the pigeon towels, my pet pigeons. They have towels for their call it their apartment. And they just got done cleaning, but they're gonna have to wait. Gonna have to wait to go in the dryer because I am working on this. Okay, so I'm actually going to bring this shadow up to the same line as here. Now that I'm seeing it, I want more shadow. Yes. And we'll bring this out too. Oh, that's good. Okay. Okay, I'm gonna put this next to the color that it's the shadow for. And I'm going to take this original color and add it a little bit to help create like a transition. So it's not quite so hard a change from the lighter color. Because you can layer on the same color to create more shadows if you want to be much more subtle with your shading. There. Ooh, I want to do. It's not like this on the reference image, but I love doing this. I'm going to do a little bit on the little cute curvy mouth, and it gives it some dimension. Okay, that's good enough for now. We can add more later if we want. Okay, so now we're looking for a shadow color for, it was this one, so actually I might just go straight on to the next step of the E27. This looks like a nice next step down in shade. So E27. And it's nice, since I already did these shadows for the light color, all I have to do is follow that. I don't have to think that hard about it. Now it just has to match this shading that I already did. There we go. Turning it around to make it easier to get this part. And turn it again. And then, let's see, I think I'll just try doing something like this to start with. See how that looks. little teeny tiny corner trying to get in there. And bring it down to match, to meet the stuff that I did at the bottom. Oh yeah, I think that's good. Ooh, yummy. Oh, that's true. Thought Teresa says, tasty ice cream. I need to see how other people defrost the banana ice cream. The cookbook just says to eat it right away. But I can't run my blender at 10 p.m. Lol. Yeah. It's a little more difficult when your tools are limited. But maybe if you make it early enough, it's but it'll get all. Oh, but if it's just bananas and peanut butter. Wait, is it bananas and peanut butter, or is it like frozen bananas and peanut butter? So I was gonna say that maybe you could just keep it in the fridge as long as you eat it the same day. So I'm doing the same thing as before and using the original color to make the transitions a little smoother. So actually, I'm going to get my clear marker. It's called the Zero Colorless Blender. And all it is the alcohol. It's just the medium with no pigment in it. I'm going to use it to smooth these colors even more. That's good for now. Might need to add more of a lighter color on top, like maybe this one. Not quite getting the look I want, so I'm gonna try that. Oh yeah, this is nice. Okay. So I'm actually using the shadow color for the tan to be a blender color for the brown, because the colorless blender was just sort of sucking the pigment out. Or diluting it so much that it was actually making it look less colored. Then it gives it a really interesting texture. It has like a fur texture now from adding the colorless blender. Oh good, it focused on its own. It has like a fur texture up here now. So that's something I can keep in mind in the future when using Bristol as my substrate. Okay. Maybe I'll do the same thing on the tan color too. There's like a little hair on this. Okay, got it. So I don't want to go too much darker, but the colors weren't blending how I wanted, so that's why I'm going to this colorless blender to help get that. So now, let's see. I'm gonna actually get an even lighter color than this E41, so E40, to do the same thing where I put a lighter color on top of the colorless blender. To really bring it all together. Oh, good. I'm glad. I definitely want to do more shading, but that's what it says. Now it's popping with the shading. Oh. One blog says to let it thaw 15 minutes on the counter. Oh, that's not too bad. That's just like regular ice cream. Satoisa says I guess I can wait that long instead of immediately eating it from the carton. I understand though, because ice cream is so yummy. And anything with peanut butter, I don't know, especially these days, has become my huge weakness. Like yesterday, I ate a whole bag of peanut butter pretzels. I just couldn't stop. I was watching Sherlock, the first season, and just eating a whole bag of peanut butter pretzels. Just couldn't stop myself. They were so yummy. No regrets. Peanut butter. It's just so delicious. Such an addictive food. Just like before, I'm trying to work evenly, so leaving off one area, coming back to it real quick, going back to the other area, trying to work before it gets dry. There. Nice. So smooth and has nice fur texture to it now. It might be different once it dries a little bit, but there we go. Now both of the sections that are fur have that same texture. Stop tempting me with delicious foods. Satoita says, oh man, peanut butter Oreos too. They're like Oreo and Nutter Butters in one cookie. Yeah, it's got to have the chocolate cookie. The chocolate cookie and the peanut butter middle. I mean, I'm pretty sure I've had one where the cookie's not chocolate and the cookie is peanut butter too. And I like that too because it's still peanut butter. So, it's all welcome. All peanut butter is welcome. Okay, let's do our 3 colors. So let's start with the mouth. Pink, red, violet. I'm pretty sure I just wanted to go to the next color over. Yeah, that's good. This is the one we had, and then here's the next step over. That's a nice jump. Red, violet, 34. Oh, Aoife moved. Yay. I can walk freely over to my markers now because she curled up a bit after all. So her head's not in my way anymore. I mean, she was very cute, so I don't begrudge it at all. Okay. And just like the other ones, I bring this original color back into it to help with the transition between the colors. Ooh, looks good. I love doing the little chibi party hats. They always end up looking good. Okay, and then we'll do some tongue too. Okay, now let's do the eyes. And I actually picked this color because I wanted the color next to it to be the main color, this BG18. Ah, Saltuta says those are peanut butter pie Oreos. Ah, I see. There's multiple peanut butter Oreos. Peanut butter Oreos. Peanut butters. Peanut butters. Definitely gonna need to do another step darker for the eyes, but that's good for this layer. And don't forget some shading to show that the pom-pom is hanging over the top of the hat. Alright, and the transition shading. Okay. Next is the balloon. So actually, I'm going to look up a heart balloon reference picture so that I can see how do the shadows fall. Heart balloon. Images. Okay, maybe I'll do this one. This seems to have, well, it seems to be lit from multiple angles, but this one in the front is kind of the lighting that I was imagining coming from over here and hitting this way. So I'll use this one. So let's see, so we've got yellow, we need the one step darker. We did, what is this? Yellow 15. But this isn't really darker exactly. No, I think I'm gonna need to go into the earth tones. Maybe. Maybe in the orange. Maybe an orange. There will be, or yellow red. Yes. That's orange, but they call it yellow red. Ah, yes. This is more what I want. Something like this, I think. Yellow red 24. The other options on the yellow page, they got darker, but they also got more vibrant, and so it didn't quite look like a shadow color for this. So this is much better. So let's see. Those are foil balloons, so I'm going to make my shadow a little more smooth than that, because I'm imagining this is just like a rubber balloon, all one piece, not molded together on one side or something. I don't actually know how they make foil balloons, but they look like two pieces of plastic sealed on the side, so. Okay. Dang, I don't think we will be able to get this done in just 2 streams, because there's only 10 minutes left. And I don't want to rush, so it's totally fine if we don't finish today. Just do 3 seems to be my average for finishing a chibi like this. 3 sessions. if there's no background or anything. Okay, and yeah, I'm going to use this to transition color. And the balloon's going to look really nice when I put some white ink on it later. Okay, and let's do some shading on the pom-pom and on the stripe on the hat as well. And I'm actually going to add it in various places, not just in the most likely shaded area, because since it's the pom-pom has lots of texture, the light will be hitting it and creating shadows at lots of different points. And that's how you can give it the texture, look like it has texture, by adding shading in a few little like bonus areas. So here's that pom-pom, because it's so tiny, so I can show you what I mean. Yeah, so it did a few little spots up at the top, even though most of the light would be hitting at the top. But again, it's supposed to be a thing where the light can actually go in a little bit, because it's all these little strings or fluffies hanging out in all different directions. Okay, I think I want to add a little bit more dark on the balloon. This one again. Okay, that'll have to be good enough. If I work it too much, then it will just, so I think what's happening is the texture is happening because the paper is starting to get really saturated. So that's why that interesting texture has started happening. So that's going to be good. Just leave that how it is. And so we'll go to a third level of shadow in these last few minutes. But do I want to work on the browns? Because it might take a little while. So maybe I'll work in the opposite direction. Let's get a third level of shadow for the balloon. So at this point we're not really concerned about working from the lightest color group to the darkest color group, because everything is colored now and everything has shadow or light areas. This time I will go into the earth tones to get a next step darker for the yellow balloon. So maybe E57. Hopefully that'll be a good choice to match with these other ones. Mylar balloon. Satuita says, whatever Mylar is, a type of plastic? Yeah, Mylar is definitely a type of plastic. I don't know what is special about it or anything, but it's definitely a type of plastic. I know that for sure. So you can actually buy sheets of Mylar to use for like art type stuff. So I think I actually got some in a like an Art Snacks or something. No, it wasn't Art Snacks. I think it was Pigment and Palette, and they were sending weird stuff out. I think that's why they had to go out of business, because they started out, because Pigment and Palette sounds like painting, maybe drawing, but palette for sure sounds like painting. But then they were sending like clay and like, it's like, wait, what are you doing? This is not what your title promises. So anyway, yeah, one time they sent a bunch of Mylar sheets And I did end up using them, not for what they suggested. I don't remember what they suggested, but I used them for, I think one of them I used for printmaking, to make like a stencil. And another one I used to make a tail for a wind chime that wasn't working very well. Although it was worked too well, and it pulled the dinger thing off of the wind chime, and I still haven't fixed that. The dinger. So here I'm kind of making things up with the shading. I think it's good enough though. It'll look nice with the, when I add some white on there, like a big boop. So bright and shiny. And then I don't think we need too much extra dark on the hat. I'm just going to do a few little tiny spots on the pom-pom. Deepen the shadows on there. And how are we for time? We got 4 minutes. So we'll do the mouth next. That won't take very long at all. There's just a teeny tiny area where I want 1 step darker. So what we were using was these two. But these are getting a little too purple, I feel. They're getting like really vibrant. So maybe more like this one. Although that's really, really dark. Okay. Earth tones. Back to the earth tones. I use them so much. They are very handy, earth tones. Okay. I thought this would be faster, but oh, maybe I'll just use this one. It's the same, it's the main color for the brown fur. Oh yeah, works surprisingly well. Okay, and then we'll just blend it with the secondary, so that's like the tertiary color. Blend it with the secondary color, and then it looks like, so I actually used brown for the darkest shadow in the mouth, and when I blend it with the medium color, it just looks really nice. Looks like that's how it's meant to be. I'm actually going to add even a little bit more at the top, because blending it kind of diluted it. Okay, now for these eyes, I want to go much darker. The reference image just has a hint of color and then otherwise black eyes. So either I'm going to go with a blue, or I might go, it's like a, yeah, let's do a cool gray. It's supposed to be almost black, so let's do C9. Let's just jump right to the end. C9, cool gray, number 9. Okay, so I think I'll actually do it like, so first I'll color like this. Just make like the whole top half of the eye this dark color. And do the same on the other side. Ooh, it's looking really good. It's looking really good. Like this. I like this. And the cool gray, it probably doesn't look different on the camera, but you can really tell, or at least I can really tell, that even though it's pretty much obscuring the teal color underneath, it's still being affected by that teal color, and so now it's like a cool gray teal. It's a cool teal. Okay, so that's as dark as I'll go there, but let's get, let's actually step it back a little bit to like, okay, let's do the C6. Cool gray number 6. Oh, we're out of time though, but come on, I'm gonna finish. I'm gonna finish these eyes. stripes right there. And leaving a little bit right there. Okay, I'll probably do a little bit more marker work, but who knows, when I come back to this next week, I might be like, looks fine, I'll actually just stay with it. So we'll let this sit for a week and I'll let my mind have a break, but here's a close-up at where we got today. I think the eyes are looking really good, actually. I just barely finished them, so I'm like looking at it with you. Looking at it on the screen. Yeah. There's still not a ton to do, but definitely another stream's worth of coloring and shading and little detail work. Oh, I didn't get any shading on the top of this ear right here, so that's another thing I gotta add next week. But that'll be it for today's live stream. 1 minute late, that's okay. Oh, thank you. So there's just this cute eye highlights. I think that it's working out really nicely, actually, with a really dark eye color. The highlights pop like crazy, so yes, I'm not quite pleased with how this is coming along, so looking forward to next week. But I'll actually be back next Monday, so hopefully I will see everyone then. But either way, hope everybody has a great rest of your day and a great weekend. Thank you for watching.